Zebulun, Elon, I, the Tetragrammaton, the Lord God Most High, I do exercise thee, and do powerfully command thee, O Spirit. Elon, I, the Tetragrammaton, the Lord God Most High, I do exercise thee, and do powerfully command.
In the dark shadows, in the white cold, fearlessly we search for knowledge new and old. We drink the strong spirits and read the ancient tomes. The order of the Abracast. We are the brave and the bold. Occult, history, conspiracy, and violence.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Abracast. I'm your host, John Towers. Tonight, this weekend marks the 18th year anniversary of the Holy Guardian Angel Aiwass transmitting the Book of the Law to Aleister Crowley. So we're going to take this opportunity to revisit this text, the text that reveals the whole of the law is do what thou wilt. This is going to include the introduction where Crowley comments on socialism, fascism, and liberty. Also, if one looks just below the surface, you can perhaps see Crowley predicting, things like wokeism and cancel culture. So as we're moving through this, my view, if you're a longtime listener, my view is that the occult is one, psychology, and two, philosophy of radical responsibility. So let's keep those two kind of things in mind while we revisit the book of the law. So we're recording live here in the secret sex chamber in the Great Pyramid of Giza. I have my vessel of the art here, ready to go, filled with my weapon of mass destruction. It's a formula for a weapon of mass destruction. It's called the Jinn Jihad. Let me kick this thing off. Right. Introduction, Part 1. The book. This book was dictated in Cairo between noon and 1 p.m. on 3 successive days, April 8th, 9th, and 10th, in the year 1904. The author called himself Aiwass and claimed to be the minister of Hur-Par-Krat. That is, a messenger from the forces ruling this earth at present. As will be explained later on, how could he prove that he was in fact a being of a kind superior to any of the human race, and so entitled to speak with authority? Evidently he must show knowledge and power, such as no man has ever been known to possess. He showed his knowledge chiefly by the use of a cipher or cryptogram in certain passages to set forth recondite facts, including some events which had yet to take place, such that no human being could possibly be aware of them. Thus, the proof of his claim exists in the manuscript itself. It is independent of any human witness. The study of these passages necessarily demands supreme human scholarship to interpret. It needs years of intense application. A great deal has still to be worked on, but enough has been discovered to justify his claim. The most skeptical intelligence is compelled to admit its truth. This matter is best studied under the master Therion, whose years of arduous research have led him to enlightenment. On the other hand, the language of most of the book is admirably simple, clear, and vigorous. No one can read it without being stricken in the very core of his being. The more than human power of Aiwass is soon by the influence of his master and of the book. Upon actual events, the history fully supports the claim made by him. These facts are appreciable by everyone, but the better understood with the help of the master, Therion. The full detailed accounts of the events leading up to the dictation of this book, with facsimile reproductions of the manuscript and an essay by the master Therion, is published in The Equinox of the Gods. Introduction, Part 2, The Universe. This book explains the universe. The elements are Nuit, space. That is, the total of possibilities of every kind. And Hadet, at any point in which experience of these possibilities, this idea is for literary convenience, symbolized by the Egyptian goddess Nuit, a woman bending over like an arch in the sky, in the night sky. Hadet is symbolized by the winged globe at the heart of Nuit. Every event is uniting of some one monad with one of the experiences possible to it. Quote, every man and every woman is a star, unquote. That is, an aggregate of such experiences constantly changing with each fresh event which affects him or her, either consciously or subconsciously. Each one of us has thus a universe in his own. But it is the same universe for each one as soon as it includes all possible experience. This implies an extension of consciousness to include all other consciousnesses. In our present stage, the object that you see is never the same as the one that I see. We infer that it is the same because your experience tallies with mine on so many points that the actual differences of our observations are negligible. For instance, if a friend is walking between us, you see only his left side, I see his right. But we agree that it is the same man, although we may differ not only as to what we may see of his body, but as to what we know of his qualities. This conviction of identity grows stronger as we see him more often and we get to know him better. Yet all the time, neither one of us can know anything of him at all beyond the total impression made of our respective minds. The above is an extremely crude attempt to explain the system which reconciles all existing schools of philosophy. Introduction, Part 3, The Law of Thelema. This book lays down a simple code of conduct. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will. There is no law beyond do what thou wilt. This means that each of us stars is to move on our true orbit, as marked out by the nature of our position, the law of our growth, the impulse of our past experiences. All events are equally lawful, and every one necessary in the long run for all of us in theory. But in practice, only one act is lawful for each one of us at any given moment. Therefore, duty consists of determining to experience the right event from one moment of consciousness to another. Each action or motion is an act of love. The uniting with one another part of Nuit. Each such act must be under will, chosen so as to fulfill, and not to thwart the true nature of the being concerned. The technical methods of achieving this are to be studied in magic or acquired by personal instruction from the master Therion and his appointed assistants. Introduction, Part 4, The New Aeon. The third chapter of the book is difficult to understand and may be very repugnant to many people born before the date of the book, which is April 1904. It tells us the characteristics of the period on which we are now entered. Superficially, they appear appalling. We see some of them already with terrifying clarity, but fear not. It explains that certain vast stars or aggregates of experience may be described as gods. One of these is in charge of the destinies of this planet for the period of 2,000 years. There's a footnote here that's interesting. The moment of change from one period to another is technically called the equinox of the gods, moving forward. In the history of the world, as far as we know accurately, are three such gods. Isis, the mother, when the universe was conceived as simple nourishment drawn directly from her. This period is marked by a matriarchal government. Next, beginning 500 BC, Osiris, the father, when the universe was imagined as catastrophic love, death, resurrection as the method by which experience was built up. This corresponds to patriarchal systems. Now, Horus, the child, in which we come to perceive events as a continual growth, partaking in its elements of both of these methods, and not to be overcome by circumstance. This present period involves the recognition of the individual as the unit of society. We realize ourselves, as explained in the first paragraphs of this essay, every event, including death, is only one more accretion to our experience, freely willed by ourselves from the beginning, and therefore also predestined. This god, Horus, has a technical title, Hur-Raha, a combination of the twin gods Ra-Hur-Kuit and Hur-Par-Karat. The meaning of this doctrine must be studied in magic. He is symbolized as the hawk-headed god enthroned. He rules the present period of 2,000 years, beginning in 1904. Wherever his government is taking root, observe for yourselves the decay of the sense of sin, the growth of innocence and irresponsibility, the strange modifications of the reproductive instinct with the tendency to become bisexual or epicene. The childlike confidence in progress combined with the nightmare fear of catastrophe against which we are yet half unwilling to take precaution. Jesus Christ. Consider the outcrop of dictatorships, only possible when moral growth is in its earliest stages, and the prevalence of infantile cults like communism, fascism, pacifism, health crazes, occultism in nearly all its forms, religions sentimentalized to the point of practical extinction. Consider the popularity of the cinema, the wireless, the football polls, guessing competitions, all devices for soothing fractious infants, no seed of purpose in them. Consider sport, the babyish enthusiasms and rages which it excites, whole nations disturbed by disputes between boys. Consider war, the atrocities of which occur daily and leave us unmoved and hardly worried. We are children. Now this new aeon of Horus will develop how the child will grow up. These are for us to determine, growing up ourselves in the way of the law of Thelema under the enlightened guidance of the Master Therion. Introduction, Part 5, the next step. Democracy dawdlers. Ferocious fascism, cackling communism, equally frauds cavort crazily all over the globe. They are hemming us in. They are the abortive births of the child of the new aeon of Horus. But liberty stirs once more in the womb of time. Evolution makes its changes by antisocial theistic ways. The abnormal man who foresees the trends of the times and adapts circumstances intelligently is laughed at, persecuted, often destroyed by the herd. But he and his heirs, when the crisis comes, are the survivors. Above us today hangs a danger never yet paralleled in history. We suppress the individual in more and more ways. We think in terms of the herd. War no longer kills soldiers. It kills indiscriminately. Every new measure of the most democratic and autocratic governments is communistic in essence. It is always restriction. We are all treated as imbecile children. DORA, the Shops Act, the motoring laws, Sunday suffocation, the censorship. They won't trust us to cross the roads at will. Fascism is like communism and dishonest unto the bargain. The dictators suppress all art, literature, theater, music, news, and that does not meet their requirements. Yes, yet the world only moves by the light of genius. The herd will be destroyed in mass. The establishment of the law of Thelema is the only way to preserve individual liberty and to assure the future of the race. In the words of the famous paradox of the Comte de Phoenix, the absolute rule of the state shall be a function of the absolute liberty of each individual will. All men and women are invented to cooperate with the master Therion in this great work. The Book of the Law. Had the manifestation of Nuit, the unveiling of the company of heaven, every man and every woman is a star. Every number is infinite, and there is no difference. Help me, O warrior lord of Thebes, in my unveiling before the children of men. Be thou had it, my secret center, my heart and my tongue. Behold, it is revealed by Aiwass, the minister of Karat. The kebabs is in the coup, not the coup in the kebabs. Worship then the kebabs, and behold my light shed over you. Let my servants be few and secret. They shall rule the many and the known. These are fools that men adore, both their gods and their men are fools. Come forth, O children under the stars, and take your fill of love. I am above you and in you. My ecstasy is in yours. My joy is to see your joy. Above the gemmed azure is the naked splendor of Nuit. She bends in ecstasy to kiss the secret ardors of Hadit. The winged globe, the starry blue, are mine, O Ankh Afna Kunsu. Now ye shall know that the chosen priest and the apostle of infinite space is the priest prince, the beast, and his woman called the Scarlet Woman is all power given. They gather my children into their fold, and they bring the glory of the stars in the hearts of men, for he is ever a sun and she a moon. But to him is the winged secret flame, and to her the stooping starlight. But ye are not so chosen. Burn upon their brows, O splendorous serpent, O azure-lidded woman, bend upon them. The key of the rituals is the secret word which I have given unto him. With the god and the adorer I am nothing. They do not see me. They are upon the earth, I am heaven, and there is no other god than me, and my Lord had it. For therefore I am known to ye by my name Nuit, and to him by my secret name, which I will give him when at last he knoweth me. Since I am infinite space and infinite stars thereof, do you also thus bind nothing? Let there be no difference made among you between any other thing and any other thing, for thereby there cometh hurt. But whoso availeth in this, let him be the chief of all. I am Nuit, and my word is 56. Divide, add, multiply, and understand. Then saith the prophet and the slave of the beauteous one, Who am I? And what shall be the sign? So she answered him, bending down, a lambent flame of blue, all touching, all penetrant. For her lovely hand upon the black earth, and her lithe body arched for love, and her soft feet not hurting the little flowers. Thou knowest the sign shall be my ecstasy in the consciousness of the continuity of existence, the omnipresence of my body. Then the priest answered and said unto the queen of space, kissing her lovely brows, in the dew of her light bathing his whole body in a sweet-smelling perfume of sweat, O Nuit, continuous one of heaven, let it be ever thus, that men speak not of thee as one, but as none, and let them speak not of thee at all, since thou art continuous. None breathed of light, faint fairy of the stars, and two, I am divided for love's sake, for the chance of union. This is the creation of the world, that the pain of division is nothing, and the joy of disillusion all. For these fools of men and their woes care thou at all. Their woes care not thou at all. They feel little. What is balanced by weak joys. But ye are my chosen ones. Obey my prophet. Follow out the ordeals of my knowledge. Seek me only. Then the joys of my love will redeem ye from all pain. This is so, I swear it by the vault of my body and by my sacred heart and tongue. By all I can give, by all I desire of ye all. Then the priest fell into a deep trance, or a swoon, and said unto the Queen of Heaven, Write unto us the ordeals, write unto us the rituals, write unto us the law. But she said, The ordeals I write not, the rituals shall be half known and half concealed. The law is for all. This is what thou writest in the threefold book of the law. My scribe, Ankh-Af-Na-Kun-Su, the priest of the princes, shall not in one letter change this book, but lest there be folly. He shall comment thereupon by the wisdom of Rahur-Kuit. Also by the mantras and the spells, the Obe and the Wange, the work of the wand and the work of the sword, he shall learn and teach. He must teach. But he may make severe the ordeals, the word of the law. Who calls us Thelemites will do no wrong if he look but close to the word. For there are therein three grades, the hermit, the lover, and the man of earth. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. The word of sin is restriction, O man, refuse not thy wife if she will, O lover, if thou wilt depart. There is no bond that can untie the divided but love. All else is a curse, accursed be it to the aeons hell. So let it be the state of manyhood bound in loathing, so withal thou hast no right but to do thy will. Do that, and no other shall say nay, for pure will, unassuaged of purpose. Delivered from the lust of the result is every way perfect. The perfect and the perfect are one. The perfect and not two, nay, are none. Nothing is the secret key of this law. 61 the Jews call it. I call it 80, 84, 118, but they have the half unite by thine art, so that all disappear. My prophet is a fool with his one. They are not the ox, and none by the book. Abrogate are all rituals, all ordeals, all words and signs. Ra-Hur Kuit hath taken his seat in the east at the equinox of the gods, and let Asar be with Isa, who are also one. But they are not of me. Let Asar be the adorant, Isa be the sufferer, Hur in his secret name and splendor is the Lord initiating. There is a word to say about the hierophantic task. Behold, there are 3 ordeals in one, and it may be given in 3 ways. The gross must pass through fire, and let fine be tried, and intellect and lofty chosen ones in the highest. Thus ye have a star, a system, and a system, and let not one know well the other. There are 4 gates to one palace. The floor of the palace is silver and gold. Lapis, lazuli, and jasper are there, and all rare scents, jasmine and rose, and the emblems of death. Let him either enter or turn, or at once the 4 gates. Let him stand on the floor of the palace. Will he not sink? Amen. Ho, warrior, if thy servant sink. But there are means, and means be goodly. Therefore dress ye all in fine apparel, eat rich foods, and drink sweet wines, and wines that foam. Also take your fill of will of love as ye will, when, where, and with whom ye will, but always unto me. If this not be all right, if ye confound the space mark, saying there are one, or saying there are many, if the ritual be not ever unto me, then expect the direful judgments of Ra-Hur Kuit. This shall regenerate the world, the little world, my sister, my heart, and my tongue, unto whom I send this kiss. Also, O scribe, the prophet, though thou be of the princes, it shall not assuage thee nor absolve thee, but ecstasy be thine, and the joy of earth ever to me, to me. Change not as much as the style of a letter, for behold, thou, O prophet, shall not behold all the mysteries hidden therein. The child of thy bowels, he shall behold them. Expect him not from the east, nor from the west, for from no expected house cometh that child. All words, all sacred, and all prophets true, save only that they understand a little, solve for the first half of the equation, leave the second unattacked, but thou hast all in the clear light, and some, though not all, in the dark. Evoke me under my stars. Love is the law, love under will. Nor let the fools mistake love. For there are love and love. There is the dove and there is the serpent, and choose ye well. He, my prophet, hath chosen, knowing the law of the fortress, of the great mystery of the house of God. All these old letters of my book are all right, but not a star. This is also a secret. My prophet shall reveal it to the wise. I give unimaginable joys of earth, certainly not fate, while in life upon death, peace, unutterable rest, ecstasy, nor do I demand aught in sacrifice. My incense is of resinous wood and gums. There is no blood therein, because of my hair, the trees of eternity. My number is 11, and all their numbers who are with us, the 5-pointed star with a circle in the middle. The circle is red, my color is black to the blind, but blue and gold are seen of the seeing. Also I have secret glory for them that love me. But to love me is better than all things, if under the night stars, the desert, thou presently burnest mine incense before me, evoking me with a pure heart and a serpent flame therein, thou shalt come a little to lie in my bosom. For one kiss wilt thou then be willing to give all. But whoso gives one particle of dust shall lose all. In that hour ye shall gather goods and store of women and spices. Ye shall wear rich jewels, and shall exceed the nations of the earth in splendor and pride. But always the love of me, and so shall ye come to my joy. I charge you earnestly to come before me in a single robe, covered with a rich headdress. I love you. I yearn to you. Pale or purple, veiled or voluptuous, I who am all pleasure and purple and drunkenness of the innermost sense of desire you. Put on the wings and arouse the coiled splendor within you. Come unto me. At all my meetings with you shall the priestess say in her eyes shall burn with desire, as she stands bare and rejoicing in my secret temple, to me, calling forth the flames in the hearts and of all her love chant. Sing the rapturous love song unto me, burn to me perfumes, wear to me jewels, drink to me, for I love you. I love you. The blue-lidded daughter of sunset, I am the naked brilliance of the voluptuous night sky. Come to me, the manifestation of Nuet is at an end. Knew the hiding of had it. Come all ye and learn the secrets that hath not been revealed. I had it, am the complement of new my bride. I am not extended, and kebabs is the name of my house. In every sphere I am everywhere, the center as she, the circumference is nowhere found. Yet she shall be known, and I never behold. The rituals of the old time are black. Let the evil ones be cast away, and let the good ones be purged by the prophet. Then shall this knowledge go aright. I am the flame that burns in every heart of man, and in the corner of every star. I am life, I am the giver of life. Yet therefore is the knowledge of me the knowledge of death. I am the magician and the exorcist. I am the axle of the wheel and the cube in the circle. Come unto me is a foolish word, for it is I that go. Who worshipped Par Crath have worshipped me ill, for I am the worshipper. Remember, all ye, that existence is pure joy, that all the sorrows are but shadows, they pass and are done. But there is that which remains. O prophet, thou hast ill will to learn this writing. I see thee hate the hand and the pen, but I am stronger, because in me these which thou knewest not. For why? Because thou wast the knower in me. And let there be a veiling of the shrine, and let the light devour men and eat them up with blindness. For I am perfect, being not, and my number is 9 by the fools, but with the just I am 8, and 1 and 8 with the vital. For I am none indeed. The empress and the king are not of me, for there is a further secret. I am the empress, I am the hierophant. Thus 11 as my bride is 11. Hear me, ye people, sighing. The sorrows of pain, regret are left to the dead and the dying. The folk that not know me as yet, These are the dead, these fellows. They feel not. We are not for the poor and the sad. The lords of the earth are our kinfolk. Is God to live in a dog? No. But the highest are of us. They shall rejoice, our chosen, who sorroweth. Sorroweth is not of us. Beauty and strength, leaping laughter and delicious languor, forces and fire are of us. We have nothing with the outcasts and the unfit. Let them die in their misery, for they feel not. Their compassion is the vice of kings. Stamp down the wretched and the weak. This is the law of the strong, and this is our law, the joy of the world. Think not, O king, upon that lie, that thou must die. Verily, thou shalt not die, but live. Now let it be understood, if the body of the king dissolve, but shall remain in pure ecstasy forever, knew it, had it, ra hor kuit. The sun, the strength, the sight, the light, these are of the servants of the star and the snake, and I am the snake that giveth knowledge and delight, and bring glory, and stir the hearts of men with drunkenness. To worship me is to take wine and strange drugs, whereof I will tell my prophet to be drunk thereof. They shall not harm ye at all. It is a lie, this folly against self. The exposure of innocence is a lie. Be strong, O man. Just enjoy all things of sense and rapture, and fear not that any god shall deny thee for this. I am alone. There is no God where I am. Behold, these be grave mysteries, for there are also of my friends to be hermits. Now think not to find them in the forest or in the mountain, but in beds of purple, caressed by magnificent beasts of women with their large limbs and their fire and their light in their eyes and masses of flaming hair about them. There shall ye find them. Ye shall find them at rule, at victorious armies, at all the joy. There shall be in them a joy 1,000,000 times greater than this. Beware lest any force other than king against king love another with burning hearts. The low men trample in the fierce lusts of your pride in the day of your wrath. Ye are against the people, O my chosen. I am the secret serpent coiled about to spring. In my coiling there is joy. I lift up my head. I and my Nuit are one. If I droop down mine head and shoot forth venom, then is rapture of the earth, and I and the earth are one. There is great danger in me, for who doth not understand these ruins shall make a great miss. He shall fall down into the pit called Because, and there he shall perish with the dogs of reason. Now a curse upon Because and his kin. May Because be accursed forever. If Will stops and cries why, evoking Because, then Will stops and does not. If power asked why, then power is weakness. Also reason is a lie, for there is a factor infinite and unknown, and all their words are skew-wise. Enough of Because, be he damned for a dog. But ye, O my people, rise up and awake. Let the rituals be rightly performed with this joy and beauty, the rituals of the elements and the feasts of the times, a feast for the first night of the prophet and his bride, a feast of the 3 days of the writing of the book of the law, a feast for Taihuti and the child of the prophet, secret, O prophet, the feast of the supreme ritual, and a feast for the equinox of the gods, a feast for the fire, a feast for the water, a feast for the life, and a feast for death. A feast every day in your hearts in the joy of my rapture. A feast every night unto new and the pleasure of utmost delight. Aye, a feast rejoiced. There is no dread thereafter in the disillusion of the eternal ecstasy and the kisses of new. There is death for the dogs. Dost thou fail? Art thou sorry? Is fear in thy heart? Where I am, these are not. Pity not the fallen. I never knew them. I am not for them. I console not. I hate the consoled and the consoler. I am unique and conqueror. I am not of the slaves that perish. Be they damned and dead. Amen. This is for the four. There is a fifth who is invisible, and therein am I as a babe in an egg. Blue am I, and gold in the light of my bride. But the red gleam in my eyes, and my spangles are purple and green. Purple beyond purple is the light, and higher than eyesight. There is a veil, and that veil is black. It is the veil of a modest woman in a veil of sorrow and a pall of death. This is none of me. Tear down that lying specter of the centuries. Veil not your vices in virtuous words. These vices are my service. Ye do well, and I will reward you here and hereafter. Fear not, O prophet. When these words are said, thou shalt not be sorry. Thou art emphatically my chosen, and my blessed are the eyes that thou shalt look upon with gladness. But I will hide thee in a mask of sorrow. They that see thee shall fall. Fear thou art fallen. They that see thee shall fear thou art fallen, but I lift thee up. Nor shall they who cry aloud their folly, that thou meanest naught avail. Thou shalt reveal it, and availest. They are the slaves of because. They are not of me. The stops as the thou wilt, the letters, change them not in style or value. Thou shalt obtain the order and value of the English alphabet, and thou shalt find new symbols to attribute them unto. Begone, ye mockers, even though ye laugh in my honor, ye shall laugh not long. Then when ye are sad, know that I have forsaken you. He that is righteous shall be righteous still. He that is filthy shall be filthy still. Yea, deem not of chains, ye shall be as ye are, and not other. Therefore the kings of the earth shall be kings forever. The slaves shall serve. There is none that shall be cast down or lifted up. All is ever as it was, yet there are masked ones, my servants. It may be that yonder beggar is a king. A king may choose his garment as he will. There is no certain test, but a beggar cannot hide his poverty. Beware, therefore, love all, lest perchance is a king concealed. Say you so, fool? If he be a king, thou canst not hurt him. Therefore, strike hard and low, and to hell with them, master. There is a light before thine eyes, O prophet. A light undesired and most desirable. I am uplifted in thine heart, and the kisses of the stars remain hard upon thy body. Thou art exhaust in the voluptuous fullness of the inspiration. The expiration is sweeter than death, more rapid and laughterful than a caress of hell's own worm. O thou art overcome, we are upon thee. Our delight is all over thee. Hail, hail, prophet Nu, prophet of Had, prophet of Ra-Hur-Kua. Now rejoice, Now come in our splendor and rapture, come in our passionate peace, and write sweet words for the kings. I am the master, thou art wholly chosen one. Write and find ecstasy in writing, work in our bed in working, thrill with the joy of life and death. Ah, thy death shall be lovely, who seeth it shall be glad. Thy death shall be the seal of the promise of our age-long love. Come and lift up thine heart and rejoice. We are one, we are none. Hold, hold, bear up thy rapture, fall not thy swoon, and the excellent kisses harder. Hold thyself up, lift thine head, breathe not so deep, and die. What do you feel? Is the word exhausted? There is help and hope in other spells. Wisdom says, be strong. Then canst thou bear more joy. Be not an animal. Refine thy rapture. If thy drink, drink by the 8th and the 90 rules of art. If thou love, exceed by delicacy. And if thou do aught joyous, let there be subtlety therein. But exceed, exceed. Strive and ever to more. If thou art truly mine, and doubt it all not, and if thou art ever joyous, death is the crown of all. Death, death. Thou shalt long for death. Death is forbidden, O man, unto thee. The lengths of thy longing shall be the strengths of its glory. He that lives long and desires death much is ever the king among kings. I listen to the numbers and the words. 4, 6, 3, 8, A, B, K, 2, 4, A, L, G, M, O, R, 3, Y, X, 2, 4, 8, 9, R, P, S, T, O, V, A, L. What meanest this, O prophet? Thou knowest not, nor shalt that know. There cometh one to follow thee, shall expound on it, but remember, no chosen one to me. To follow the love of new is the starlit heaven, and to look forth upon men to tell them this glad word, O thou be proud and mighty among men. Lift up thyself, for there is none like unto me, thee among men or among gods. Lift up thyself, O my prophet, thy stature shall surpass the stars. They shall worship thy name foursquare, mystic, wonderful, the number of man, and the name of thy house is 418. The end of the hiding of Hadeth, and the blessing and the worship to the prophet of the lovely star. So a quick note before we get into this last part here is there's a lot of tarot card references in it, and I would just like to remind folks that I have my own tarot card deck. You can check it out. You can see everything. There's no watermarks on it or anything, but you can pick them up if you want. You go to abercast.com. Also, I love the part this book has a lot of really good stuff in it. You know, all the sexy stuff at first, and then this part where Aiwass is dictating to Crowley, who's his wife is writing it down, I guess, or something. But he writes like jokes in here, like when he's like, "Oh, my prophet, I see that your hand and your pen are trembling," and it's just funny. Like it's like when Lovecraft is like writing, and his character is writing, screams and like he's writing in his diary, and he's like trying to describe how terrified he is because of the steps coming up, or the feet coming up the stairs, or the window breaking in Hunter of the Dark, and all that stuff. It's so good. And I remember I read somewhere Crowley talking about like the main failure of all established religions is that there's no room to laugh. And I feel like he was a really funny dude. I haven't read everything he wrote. I've read a lot of it. Well, I've read some of it. I'll say I read some of it. And, you know, he just makes jokes. Like in Liber 3, he's making golf jokes. He's doing golf jokes. So anyhow, I just wanted to kind of bring that up and those 2 points and just why I love this book so much. My wife recently went to Buckland's Museum of Witchcraft in Cleveland, and she bought me another copy of this book, and I immediately flipped it to the part that I love the most and like read it out loud for her. She's like, "Oh, I got goosebumps." So that's coming up here. And also this guy, Rahur Kuit. Krath is another name for Harpocrates. And Harpocrates is like one of the big, if you've listened to the show for a long time, you know that it started out with like in trying to figure out what was up with the rumor of Masons riding goats. And we stumbled upon this mythological character named Harpocrates. So that's just another name for Harpocrates, and I put him in the tarot cards. If you look at the Thoth expansion set, he is the sort of the main figure of the Aeon card. This little baby riding a goat, doing the flashing, the sign of Harpocrates, and Nuit and Horus is, behind him. It's a fun card, so, I mean, whatever. I'm done talking about the cards. Let's get into this thing. It's running long. I gotta go make tacos after this. Abrahadabra. The reward of Rahur Kuit. There is a division hither homeward. There is a word not known. Spelling is defunct. All is not aught. Beware. Hold. Raise the spell of Rahur Kuit. Now let it be first understood that I am a god of war and of vengeance. I shall deal hardly with them. Choose ye an island, fortify it, dung it about with the enginery of war. I will give to you a war engine. Will it ye smite the peoples, and none shall stand before you, lurk, withdraw upon them. This is the law of the battle of conquest. Thus shall my worship be about my secret house. Get the stele of revealing itself. Set it in thy secret temple, and that temple is already all right disposed, and shall be your Qibla forever. It shall not fade, but miraculous color shall come back to it day after day. Close it in locked glass for proof to the world. This shall be your only proof, I pervid argument. Conquer, that is enough. I will make easy to you the obstruction from the ill-ordered house of the victorious city. Thou shalt thyself convey it with worship, O prophet. Thou the likest not. Thou shalt have danger and trouble, and Rahur Ku is with thee. Worship me with the fire and blood. Worship me with swords and with spears, and let the woman be girt with the sword before me. Let blood flow to my name. Trample down the heathen. Be upon them, O warrior. I will give you their flesh to eat. Sacrifice cattle, little and big, after a child. But not now. Ye shall see that hour, O blessed beast. Now sacred concubine, that scarlet concubine of his desire. Ye shall be sad thereof. Deem not eagerly to catch the promises. Fear not to undergo the curses. Even ye know not this meaning all. Fear not all. Fear neither men, nor fates, nor gods, nor anything. Money fear not, nor laughter for the folk. Folly, nor any other power in heaven, or the upon the earth, or under the earth. New is your refuge, as hotteth is your light, and I am the strength, force, and vigor of your arms. Mercy to be let off, damn thee who pity. Kill and torture, spare not, be upon them. That still they shall call the abomination of desolation. Count well its name, and it shall be to you as 718. Why? Because of the fallen, because that he is not there again. Set up my image in the east, and thou shalt buy thee an image, which I will show thee, especially, not unlike the ones thou knowest. And it shall be suddenly easy for thee to do this. The other images group around me to support me, and let all be worshipped, for they shall cluster to exalt me. I am the visible object of worship. The others are secret, for the beast and his bride they are. For thou winners of the ordeal X, what is this? Thou shalt know. Perfume, mix, meal, honey, and thick leavings of red wine, then oil of abramelin and olive oil, and afterwards soften and smooth down the rich, fresh blood. The best blood is of the moon, monthly, and the fresh blood of a child, or dropping from the host of heaven, then of enemies, and then of the priests, or of the worshippers, last of some beast, no matter what. This burn and make cakes and eat unto me. Thou hath also another use, and let it be laid before me and kept thick with perfumes of your orson. It shall become full of beetles, as it were, and creeping things sacred unto me. These slay, naming your enemies, and they shall fall before you. Also these shall breed lust and power of lust in you, as the eating thereof. Also ye shall be strong in war. Moreover they long kept. It is better for they to swell with my force all before me. My altar is of open brass work. Burn thereon in gold and silver. There cometh the rich man from the west, who shall pour his gold upon me. The gold forged from gold forged steel, be ready to fly or to smite. Your holy place shall be untouched throughout the centuries, though with fire and sword be it burnt and shattered, yet an invisible house there standeth and shall stand until the fall of the great equinox, when Humarakach shall arise from the double-wanded one, assume my throne and my place. Another prophet shall arise and bring fresh fever from the skies. Another woman shall awake with the lust and worship of the snake. Another soul of God and beast shall mingle, the globed priest. Another sacrifice shall stain the tomb. Another king shall reign, and blessing no longer be poured unto the hawk-headed mystical lord. The half of the word hu-raha, called hu-par-krat, Harpocrates, and Rahor-kuit. Then said the prophet unto the god, I adore thee in song. I am the lord of thieves, I, the inspired fourth speaker of Mentu. For me unveils the veiled sky, the self-slain Ankh Afnakunsu. The words are truth, and I invoke, I greet thy presence, O Rahor-kuit. Unity uttermost showed, I adore the might of thy breath, supreme and terrible God, who makest the gods and death to tremble before thee, and I adore thee. I appear on the throne of Ra. I open the ways of the Ku. I lighten the ways of the Ka. The ways of the kebabs run through to stir me or still me, to let it fill me. So that light lights in me. Its red flame is as a sword into my hand to push thy order. There is a secret door that I shall make to establish thy way in all these quarters. These are all adorations as thou hast written. As it is said, the light is mine, its rays consume. I have made a secret door into the house of Ra and tomb, and then of Kephra, and ath the door. I am thy Tibin, or O Mentu, the prophet of Afnakunsu. By best na mawit my breast I beat, by wise ta neck I weave my spell, and I show my star splendor, O Nuit, and bid me with thine house to dwell, O winged snake of light, and head it. Abide me with Rahur Kuit. So this is funny. I don't remember this before. They throw out this name Kephra. That brings up a couple little memories. I knew when I was in art school, I knew a Kephra. All this in a book to say how thy didst come hither, in a reproduction of this ink and paper forever. For in it is the word secret, and not only in English. Thy comment upon this, the book of the law, shall be printed beautifully in red ink and black upon a beautiful paper made by hand. And to each man and woman that thou meetest, where it but to dine or to drink at them, it is the law to give. Then they shall chance to abide in this bliss or no, and it is no odds, do this quickly. But the work of the comment, that is easy. The hadit burning in the heart shall make swift and secure thy pen. Establish that the cob a clerk house, all must be done well and with business way. The ordeals thou shalt oversee thyself, save only the blind ones. Refuse none, and thou shalt know and destroy the traitors. I am Rahur Kuit, and I am powerful to protect my servant. Success is thy proof. Argue not, convert not, talk not over much. Them that seek to entrap thee, to overthrow thee, them attack without pity or quarter. Destroy them utterly, swift as a trodden serpent. Turn and strike, be thou yet deadlier than he, and drag down their souls to awful torment. Laugh at their fears and spit upon them. Let the scarlet woman beware if pity and compassion and tenderness visit her heart, if she leave my work to toy with an old sweetness. Then shall my vengeance be known. I will slay me her child. I will alienate her heart. I will cast her out from men. As a shrinking and despised harlot shall she crawl through the dusk-wet streets and die cold and hungry. But let her raise herself in pride. Let her follow me in my way, and let her work the work of wickedness, and let her kill her heart, and let her be loud and adulterous, and let her be covered with jewels and rich garments, and let her be shameless before all men. Then I will lift her into the pinnacles of power, and then I will breed from her a child mightier than all of the kings of the earth, and I will fill her with a joy. With my force shall she see, strike at the worship of new. she shall achieve Hadit. I am the warrior lord of 40s. The 80s cower before me and are abased, and I will bring you victory and joy. I will be at your arms in battle. He shall delight to slay. Success is your proof. Courage is your armor. Go on in my strength. You shall turn not back from any. This book will be translated into all tongues, but always with the original of the writing of the beast, for the chance to shape of the letters of their position to one another. And these are the mysteries that no beast shall divine. Let him not seek to try, but one cometh after him, whence I say not. Who shall discover the key of it all? Then this line is drawn as a key, then this circle is square, and its failure is a key also. The abrahadabra is also to be his child, and that strangely let him seek after this, for thereby alone he can fall from it. Now the mystery of the letter is done, and I want to go on to the holier place. I am in secret fourfold world. The blasphemy against all gods of men. Curse them, curse them. With my hawk's head I peck at the eyes of Jesus as he hangs upon the cross. I flap my wings in the face of Mohammed and blind him. And with my claws I tear out the flesh of the Indian and the Buddhist, Mongol and Din. Balestai. Amphida, I spit on your crapulous creeds. Let Mary in Volet be torn upon wheels. For her sake, let all chaste women be utterly despised among you. Also for beauty's sake and love's. Despise also all cowards, professional soldiers who dare not fight but play, all fools despise. By the keen and the proud and the royal and the lofty, ye are brothers, as brothers fight ye. There is no law beyond do what thou wilt. There is an end of the word of the God enthroned in Ra's seat, lightning that girders of the soul. To me do your reverence, to me come ye through tribulation of ordeal, which is bliss. The fool readeth this book of the law in its comment, and he understandeth not. Let him through the first ordeal, and it will be to him as silver, through the second as gold, through the third stones of precious water, through the fourth the ultimate spark of the intimate fire. Yet to all it shall seem beautiful. Its enemies who say it not so are mere liars. There is success. I am the hawk-headed lord of silence and of strength. My nemesis shrouds the night blue sky. Hail, ye twin warriors about the pillars of the world, for your time is nigh at hand. I am the lord of the double wand of power, the wand of the force of Kufnia. But my left hand is empty, for I have crushed a universe and naught remains. Paste the sheets from right to left, from top to bottom, and behold, there is a splendor in my name hidden and glorious as the sun of midnight is ever the sun. The ending of the words is the word of abrahadabra. The book of the law is written and concealed ha. The comment. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. The study of this book is forbidden. It is wise to destroy this copy after the first reading. Whosoever disregards this does so at its own risk and peril. These are most dire. Those who discuss the contents of this book are to be shunned by all centers of pestilence. All questions of the law are to be decided only by the appeal of my writings, each for himself. There is no law beyond do what thou wilt. Love is the law, love under will. The priest of princes, Ankh F in Kunsu.
Thank you for listening, and we hope that you enjoyed the show. Please send an email or find us on social media and let us know what you think about the show. We would appreciate it if you would give us a 5-star rate and review wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can find Stigmata Studios, graphic, novels, and comic books. Take control of your destiny. Understand your past, put your present in context, and know your future with a twist. Check out the Abracast Tarot card deck. Your body is your temple. So let's make sure you got a badass t-shirt on it. Variety of cool occult themed t-shirts. And other merch like stickers, wall art, mugs, and more. Welcome to the Red Archive. Get access to over 50 hours of archived episodes. More bonus audio. Additional exclusive content. All this for only $1 a month. Are you interested in the occult, history, conspiracy, and violence? Learn more at abracast.com.